DG says, lots of love to all. Thank you. Moji is given the steering wheels, new vehicle announced. Oh, that's correct. Then what? Shankaracharya in Atma Bodha gives one upama. He said, Guru Vandana Shloka. Manaha compared to monkey, Chanchalatmakam Manaha, Nischayatmika Buddhi. Okay. Bodhakara says that. Nischayatmika Buddhi. Chanchalam he doesn't use. Bodhakara doesn't say that. Arjuna will say Chanchalam hi Manah Krishna, etc. Correct. And this one. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Guruji,
Yeah.
here, Ashraya word is a Pullinga. So why Shankaracharya uses Napumsaka? It's not known. That's what the footnote says.
Ashraya can be in any three genders. Ashrayaha, Ashrayam, Ashraya. Possible. And so here the in general Napumsakam, Ashrayam. In general, in a sentence, if you want to use the word Ashrayam, Napumsakam. But then here, because what? Strilingam. So Ashraya, Ashraye, Ashrayaha, right? That's how it works. If I'm not mistaken. Correct. No, sorry. Parapare, I'm sorry. Or Strilingam. Napumsakam. Ashrayam, Ashraye, Ashrayani. Very sorry. So what is the question again?
Ashraya word is Pullinga, but why Napumsaka is being used? That is what.
Yeah, so see, Pullingam, if you use Ashraya by itself in a particular context, but it is an adjective also. In this case, it's used as an adjective, not as a noun. Okay, I mean, adjectival usage is there, and so because Brahma is being described. Brahma is Napumsakam. I mean, Nakaranta Napumsakam. Brahma. Okay, Brahman. Therefore, Ashraya is converted to Napumsakam. All samasas, this happens. Constantly it happens. Whenever there's a samasa, what is the gender of that samasa has to be is a question that we always ask. And the gender will be what the gender of the noun that is being described by the samasa.
Okay, thank you.
Bahuvrihi, it happened. Bahuvrihi.
Yeah. So, what is the Brahvi? Karma Brahmavid. Karmavid Brahmavid Cha Karma Brahmavidau. Okay. Karma Brahmavidoho Ashraye Yayoho Brahmanoho Te Karma Brahma Vidashraye. That's how it comes. I think you can check. Hemaji. Anyway, next question. Vijay, go ahead.
Yeah, Guruji, I was just thinking, time is like money and time is money. Maybe there is slight difference, right? Time is like money is what you described precious. Both are precious. But time is money in at least IT and all, they say, because you are built by a number of hours you spend. So maybe that is where time is money comes probably. Every hour you spend, this is what your billing amount is.
The lawyers and chartered accountants do that by the 15 minutes. They first start as soon as you lift the phone, they start the alarm.
Engineers too.
Start time, end time.
So Vijay is consulting now. I think he said I'm busy, and because I've started working in a way, so he is very familiar with this concept more than some of us. And yeah, you have to bill. Time is money. There is an equality there.
In our office, timesheet was the most important thing. Everyone has to bill daily for 6 hours, 7 hours minimum is to bill. So it is generally, oh, that's the 3 hours in that company, 3 hours in this company. They used to know the thing. Suddenly it happened. Somebody suddenly came that way just to meet her, just like that, not any consultation. And this man belled that also.
But this is not new. Even in 70s, we do it by billing our.
Yeah, that is there in the lawyers and advocates.
No, engineering.
No, engineers, I was not aware.
Yeah, in India, all the construction company built by hours.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that's okay. Along with that.
Yeah.
And in our case, in our case, internally they used to say, go and put all the times you spent on the various projects. And then I used to go work on it. And that itself will take me 2 hours to do. I said, I mean, this 2 hours, where will I put,
In Nananani, they have started even with the carpenters and the electricians.
I see. Okay. Yeah, Mahesh, go ahead.
What is the meaning of Ubhadikritaha? I missed it. Ubhadikritaha.
Ubhadikritaha samsari.
Oh,
Which Ubhadikritaha is, I hope it's an adjective to samsari, right?
yeah, no, Ubhadikritaha samsari, but I want to know what is the meaning of.
Yeah, Ubhadikritaha. Where exactly does it come?
In the 73 page, first
Sambandha
syllable, the Sambandha Bhaashyam.
Sambandha Bhaashyam, correct. Tatra yaha upadhikritaha samsari vidya vidyayoho. So, yeah, upadhikritaha, the person who is transformed due to the upadhi.
Oh, okay.
Upadhina kritaha va?
If transformation is not there, Atma is Atma only. Everything is Atma. But because this upadhi is there and because there is a confusion, I mean, upadhi did not create confusion, right? Did not create confusion, right? Because if the crystal is red in color, but it is not really red, it is colorless, there's no confusion, even though there is an upadhi. Upadhi is the flower, correct? So,
Yes.
so in this case, this crystal is called upadhikritaha crystal. Upadhikritaha. That means a crystal which now has some attributes that it does not really possess.
Okay.
That is the significance of the word upadhi.
So, samsari has some attributes which he does not possess. Is that what it is?
Which he does not really possess, fundamentally possess.
Okay.
So yes, a person, if the confusion is gone, you can't call the person as a samsari. Only a person who does not have that vision can be called a samsari.
Okay. Avivek.
Basically, the Atma that has been colored by the qualities, right? By the Upadhi's quality.
Correct.
So another thing is on the Anvayam for the third sloka. Where is iti is not in the Moola mantra, right?
Yeah, it is not in the Moola mantra. That's why I said iti vidhi is applied.
So can you please, because some parenthesis I missed.
Yeah. Swam supplied, Atmanam, Samsarinam supplied, Rathinam, Rathaswaminam supplied, Vidhi. Then Shariram Rathameva tu, then Iti Vidhi supplied.
Okay. Buddhim tu samsarinam sarathim vidhi. Sarathim vidhi. Okay. And manaha pragraham eva.
Sarathim vidhi is there. Iti is not needed there. Manaha pragraham eva cha iti vidhi.
So iti vidhi is parenthesis.
Correct. Iti vidhi supplied. Iti should not be confused with eva and all. Iti is iti.
Yeah.
Quotation. Yeah.
So another last question is, in the previous mantra we said that there are two atmas inside the body and all that. So what is the role of Paramatma? Because Jivatma drives the body, makes you alive, and it goes away when the body falls apart. So what is the role of Paramatma?
The question arises if you think Paramatma is a separate entity.
No, okay.
A simpler question, what is the role of Atma?
To keep the body going. That is
Atma,
what it drives the body or make you alive or make
Atma,
one alive.
Atma has no role.
No, but it may not be a role, but just like, it makes it to function. Or see, because at one time, say people are dead, it means what? We say Sushma Shariram leaves the body or whatever. So it's a.
So what does Shankara say here? Ekaha tatra karmaphalam pibati bhunte na itaraha. Na itaraha. So the other person is not doing anything. Paramatma is not doing anything. Tathapi patri sambandhat etc. Pibanto iti uchyate chatri nyayena etc.
Yeah, we also said that he is only an observer or a watcher. So my question is, why that is too need to be explained? I'm saying, why can't we just leave it with?
Leave it. Why can't we say?
Why can't we just say only have Jivatma?
Because there is an equality between Jivatma and Paramatma.
Yeah, we say we are one and the same, but need not be co-resident.
Yeah, so it is going to give us the target. I can either continue to be in samsara, moksha gamanaya, samsara gamanaya, Shankaracharya. So,
if I recognize Jivatma is Paramatma, without Paramatma being resident or co-resident, I can still, let's say, moksha.
Correct. This is a way of saying. It's a way of Upanishad using this way to say that. Using this way to say that there are two entities in this body. It's a way of saying, that's all. You don't have to say it. No. Bhagavad Gita doesn't say it. Other Upanishads don't say it. Only this Upanishad says. Mundaka Upanishad says it. Dvasuparna sayuja sakaya samane vrikshe parishasva jate tayor anyah pippalam swadvati. Like that it goes. So there, same thing is given. But that's it. Yeah, those are just examples.
Thank you.
You recognize that, yeah, there's nothing wrong with this example, right? Paramatma is there in this body. First, let's get the idea. In case I didn't know it. Jivatma is there, Paramatma is also there. So who are you then? Who are you?
That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is Jivatma is Paramatma.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, Meera Narayan.
Guruji, this Samanya Dharma for the last Upama between Manas and the Rashana.
Yeah.
I was just trying to understand that because Buddhi is there. Buddhi is the decision maker. And Manas is something which is acting as a rain. So does it mean that it is obviously not the controller? So it's just a tool which connects.
Correct. It keeps things in place. Manas does not decide where the sense organs go. Decision maker is Buddhi, no doubt. Buddhi takes the help of Manaha to keep everybody in check. Come on, just make sure everybody is there. Okay? That is the idea.
So communication layer.
Yeah.
Connect something.
So Manasahi Pravartante. It is like the CEO sends a message. You don't get the message from CEO. You get the message from your boss. In companies, that's how it works.
Through proper channel.
Huh?
Through proper channel.
Proper channel. If you don't go through proper channel, you get into trouble. So that's why Pravartante, Rashanaya, Pravartante. Finally, the the thing has to come from the, there is a language they speak, the charioteer, in those days, we've traveled by bullock cart so many times, and the skill that is needed to actually properly communicate with the cow or the bull, and you can't, there are some tricks he uses. He does this, and then he'll poke on the side a little bit. Sometimes they poke the thing also. I don't like that idea. But when he stop means you have to pull, and he stop. That means, and he knows also. The cow knows very well. It will not stop. Then you release it, it won't run away. Then you have to tell, come on, like this here.
Even
So
tail is used.
Huh?
Tail is
I was
tail
just
is used for
trying
that
to
purpose.
understand, Guruji, whether Manas is obviously not functioning independently, right?
See, here the faculties are being split.
Okay.
When you say Manas is not functioning independently, we have to know what you mean by the word Mana.
Because it says Sankalpa Vikalpa, likes and dislikes. But obviously it's the Buddhi which takes the decision.
Right. Sankalpa Vikalpa. Options are given. Manas constantly gives options and throws options at the Buddhi.
Yeah.
So is it like the man and his hand, and then he's holding the thing? So like that, my Buddhi, Manas, and the Panchendriyas. The hand also comes in between. Charioteer is there. Charioteer means is charioteer the whole body, or his hand is also there. Then his hand becomes a tool or something like that.
Yeah, so the important thing here is the Buddhi is the deciding factor. Correct? The Buddhi is the deciding factor. And so whatever faculty is there in this mind which is non-deciding can be put under Mana, including feelings, including just the absorption of things that are there, and communicating that to the Buddhi. Buddhi's job only is to decide. Nischayatmika Buddhi. When you don't have to decide, Buddhi is not needed.
Swami Chinmayananda says Manas is only a receiving class.
See, suppose you're just walking. Are you using the Buddhi to walk? So you're just taking a walk, just enjoy. Weather is good, just rained last night. It's so good, nice and cool. Buddhi is not used that much at all. Buddhi is not much used at all. Just to know where you're going, etc. That's about it. So we will go this way this time. Yesterday we went that way. That is where Buddhi. After that, Buddhi is not there at all.
So Manaha is something which has to be kept only to that extent where instincts are operating.
Just ask again.
Is it something to do only with instincts?
No, not instincts only. No.
Because I was thinking at some point of time, your likes and dislikes, the Buddhi would have decided that this is what it is. So Buddhi would have come into play, and the like or the dislike could have become whatever you have decided at that particular point of time.
Yeah. So in that shloka, Indriyasyarthe ragadvesho vyavasthito tayorna vashamagachyet. So that ragadvesha tayorna vashamagachyet. That means what? If I am being pulled to certain things without helplessly getting pulled, that means Buddhi is not involved. But mind has to be involved because mind knows what is all out there, where I am going, who I am going, what is right, wrong. Also, I might know. But I am getting pulled means what? I mean, Buddhi is still not active in that particular situation. So yeah, in that case, we attribute Ragadvesha and all. Ragadvesha driven activity to mind. Dharma driven activity to Buddhi. Correct?
Can we say, Jaykumarji, the decision making, the other thing, walking is mechanically we do. Which direction we go, where to go, that decision making is Buddhi.
Yeah, that's what we said. Decision making is Buddhi, everything else can be put under Mana.
Also, in
But
Gita, it was also said that it is superior, right? Buddhi is superior to Manas. In third chapter, last shloka, Buddhi Nyahu.
I think second chapter towards the end, or
Towards the end.
And the last mantra.
Indriyani. Indriyani paranyahu. Indriyebhyah param manah.
Manaha.
Manasastu para buddhihi, buddheh param paratastu saha. Something like that.
But
So this superiority is not to be understood as the superiority that we normally assume in our laukika, vyavahar. Superiority means bring your attention to that. Bring your attention from the body to the mind. Bring your attention from the mind to the buddhi. Bring your attention from the buddhi. You should ask the question, Kene shitam patitam preshati manaha. The student asks in Kathopanishad. Your attention must go to Atma. Because superior, if you say, that means what? Body is inferior? No, we don't say body is inferior. Superiority, inferiority is driving the attention towards Atma. My attention is always outward. Now you have to go inward. That is the superiority there.
Ragodesha also is you decide I like something, I decide I don't like something. So is that also not a decision point? What I like and what I don't like.
I think that's where Shastram comes, Shreyas and Preyas, no?
Yeah, where if I'm changing what's my like and dislike, if I like something and I say, this is not a good thing for me, okay, Buddhi is gotten, Buddhi is deciding, and then Buddhi makes me do all kinds of things. And there's a time now I can look at this thing and say, you know what, there was a time when I liked this. The like itself is changed completely. It's possible. Buddhi can do all that. Yes.
So, Jaykumarji, I think when we discussed it, it was gross to subtle. Nobody is saying body is inferior, body is gross. Mind is subtle, Indriya is subtler than the body, and so on, so on, and so forth. So I think Buddhi is the distillation of all the mind has given you in the past, and you're using this decision making. I like Rasagulla, so the mind shows me the picture and maybe I see the actual dish, and Buddhi has told me I love it, I'll eat it. That kind of a subtleness, I think the progression of subtleness is what we are talking about. Atma being the subtlest, right? I think that's the distinction we've been making all through our studies and our readings, correct?
Correct, definitely.
And Guruji, you mentioned about Buddhi keeping things in check. Maybe Buddhi is also responsible for making sure things are not in check also, right? It can decide, like Duryodhana went the wrong way using his Buddhi only, I guess. Is it?
Yes. Buddhi may not be capable. May not be capable. We don't assume Buddhi. All capacity is given to Buddhi, but that doesn't mean everybody has that capacity. Viveka is Buddhi. Viveka may not be there. Partial Viveka may be there. Little bit Viveka may be there. Even in food and all, some Viveka is there, but for me not good for me. But after some point, not clear. Not clear. I'm very careful what I eat at home. But when I go out, I will eat whatever I want. Means what? Something is... So at some point, Buddhi seems to turn off,
Man took over.
Man took over.
Or maybe karma took over.
Karma. You people are all experts. I think we should go back to that original thing where in the Satsang, we used to take turns, each of you used to talk for 5 minutes. I think that time has come now.
Buddhi gets rusted and we have to scrub it little bit like the battery.
I mean, we are all so imaginative now.
It is the Buddhi which is bringing me to the class here. Next time I don't come to the class because of other than Buddhi. All others like Manas.
Not necessary. Yes.
Because they drive me away to other things, right? I mean, maybe going out or attracted to something else. which is grosser, like Indukar said, it's more gross compared to buddhi, which is more subtler.
No, or the buddhi can come and say, you know what? You're such an idiot. You're sitting in this class for 1 hour. Did you understand anything? No, I understood only a little bit. Oh, for understanding a little bit, you want to enter 1 hour, 1.5 hours, you want to spend on top of that satsang also. It's going on and on and on. What kind of a fellow you are? Oh, correct. So buddhi only. Sometimes buddhi does that also. Don't think also responsible.
I think I know everything is the buddhi. So I know everything. I don't need to say.
Brainwashing. Brainwashing.
Imagine a course on Atma. You are Atma, my dear friend. What is this? You're taking a course on Atma. So buddhi, yeah, Prasad, buddhi also can do. Not informed enough can be possible. Buddhi is always involved. Decision is always a right or wrong decision. Buddhi need not know that it was a right decision. Correct? That's why we make decisions that are wrong many times. And so we should not make this into an idealistic thing. Decision making is done by buddhi. That's all. Right, wrong, and all we don't know. Later on, the buddhi will come and say, I made a wrong decision. That also is a decision only.
The quality of the buddhi is important.
The charioteer may not be capable.
Yeah. The charioteer can get better.
That's where the Stula buddhi and Sushma buddhi comes.
Oh my God, now you're getting into something else. Let's not go there right now. Hemaji, go ahead.
No, there was I remember on Shlokam, I don't know whether it is there from Viveka Chudamani or what, I don't know. Shabdadvihi pancha bireva pancha. That is, each animal, is
Viveka Chudamani only.
Viveka Chudamani, no? Panchatvam apuhu swagunena baddaha. There is something like that.
That 5 animals.
Kuranga matanga patanga Pringa naraha panchabir anjitaha kim. So the animals, each one has one weakness. The deer, by the sight it this thing, and then by the sparsha of this thing, it gets affected. Whereas man has got all the 5, sabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, about of him, for him to know this thing for him. I remember
that. Nice setup.
I think Guruji has mentioned this long back in class. This shloka was quoted.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so that is free will. So free will is there if you say, then all these things are needed. Right, wrong, onwards, everything is needed. Animal doesn't have to worry about any of these things. So why shouldn't it be nice? We should be born as an animal, right? Don't need to attend classes, that, all these things are too much. Going to school, college, that's all this. I don't know. These animals will be born as human beings later on, and we will be born as animals later on. Anything is possible. But no.
But to realize Paramatma, you have to have a human birth.
Yeah. So we have to go back to Arjuna's school. Yoga brashto vi jayati. Kaschin nubaya viprashtaha chinnabhramiva nashyati. Apratishto mahabhavo kam gatim krishna gacchati. Correct? I like what you're saying, and I feel like listening to more and more of it. What happens if I die suddenly? What question it is? That's fine. That's a good question. So, nahi kalyanakrit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. Nahi kalyanakrit. So, no, durgatim kaschit na gacchati. What does he say? Ushitva shashwati samaha. Suchi nam srimatam gehe, etc. comes. So some kind of assurance Krishna seems to give there. All right. Anything else?
Incidentally, this chariot example is used by Sunyavadi Chandrakirti to show that it is no self. I mean, because Buddhism is no self. So same chariot example is used by Chandrakirti.
Okay. No self. Okay. Who is saying this? Self is saying or no self is saying?
Is because that you have to ask Chandrakirti. Why do you say that? Who is saying that?
It's a serious question. I want to know. Who's saying it? Is no self saying it? Self saying it? If he says self is saying it, we are saying self exists. If he says no self is saying it, oh, no self also can speak like this. Very interesting. Very nice. So no self is speaking.
No self is saying doesn't matter. We don't have to answer. Anyways, it doesn't exist.
But he uses only the chariot and the parts of the chariot. So the relation between a chariot and the shape, which final chariot comes into, versus the parts. So we will say that whether the chariot is in parts or it is possessed by the parts, or when it is coming into, where is that self? We are talking about again chariot, right? Because then he's comparing the chariot as a picture which is not there, and the like if you rearrange the parts, instead of putting wheel on the back, two wheels put on the front, chariot is not there. So that's how different combinations like possessing or innate. Where is the chariot? How can you say that it is a self? Where is the self, in fact? So that's how his argument against, because a part of Buddhism, so Sunyavada.
Yeah. So Buddhism, so the Shunyavadis, a lot of practices and all are very good. Very good. All the meditations, etc. are good. Final analysis, I think, something, somewhere, I don't know how. I don't think, I have a feeling Buddha would not have said this. I don't think so. Somehow, Prasad, that's what I feel.
Yeah, even Nagarjuna didn't say that it is. Sunyavada is like nothing. It's not nothing. He never said that is nothing. So it is only misunderstood, misrepresented. Yeah. So
Nagarjuna says that?
Yeah, Nagarjuna said that it's
kept
not
quiet.
like.
Buddha kept quiet when he asked whether it is Shunya and all the thing.
Ramana Maharshi also kept quiet.
Because you can't say anything.
In one sense, Sunyam is Purnam, like us. That is how it has come. But then how they explain, that's how, because the Tibetan Buddhism is, that's how it slowly they evolved that way. It's almost like Advaita Vedanta to some extent, to the end.
Shunyam is Pujyam. In our
Purnam, and yes, like we say.
Yeah, I think we have to look into that. I think that somehow that message has mistaken message. That's what we are saying, I think. Mistaken. Yeah. So Swami Chinmayananda says in his Kindle life is an inward receiver of the office. And thereafter it is sorted to different departments. Oh, receiving clerk in the office. Okay. Shabdadibihi panchabhireva panchatpamapuhu sagudena bhattaha karanga matanga patanga meena bhringaha narah panchabhiranchitaha kim. Okay. All right. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye अमृतकलशहस्ताय सर्वामयविनाशनाय त्रैलोक्यनाथाय श्रीमहाविष्णवे नमः।
धन्यवाद जी।